back, everybody. On deck today for review is the Beretta M92. This one's the A1 version. A couple differences from the M9 that a lot of our soldiers are carrying out there, and a lot of you have actually carried while you were in service as well. Most importantly, at least in my opinion, is the addition of a light rail. But the sights are removable. There's a recoil buffer. There's some other stuff that we're going to get into in the video, in the rest of the video, that are improvements on the original M9 platform, at least in my opinion. But for now, I'll keep putting a few rounds down range and then get into what I think about the gun a little bit more coming up next. We'll start out by going over some basic features of the gun here. On the 92A1, you're going to see it has the standard Beretta 92 or M9 style grips, so any of the grips for your M9 or 92 will fit. Safety, frame mounted like always. That is the fire position. That is a safe position. The safety also acts as a decocker, so when the hammer's back, you can decock the pistol. It lowers the hammer. It also rotates the rear. There's a two-piece firing pin. It rotates the rear of that out of alignment, so that way it can't go forward. And it also disconnects the trigger. So what I mean by that is when you have it down in the decocked or safe position, you have a dead trigger. Here we have our slide lock mechanism, slide release, takedown lever. Up front here we have that 1913 style rail that we talked about, so any of your accessories there will fit. You can see we do have some serrations up front. Really, I don't know why they're vertical. They'd be much more useful in my opinion if they were horizontal or even just checkered. Mag release here is reversible on the 92A1. And it does have the old standard lanyard loop down there. Magazines that come with this, there's 3 17-round mags. Take a look at them. They're nicely finished steel magazines. Disassembly of the pistol is classic Beretta M9. You just drop the magazine. You're going to push up here on the slide lock, slide stop, lock it to the rear. Inspect that chamber, make sure it is clear. It is clear. You also note that we do have a chrome line bore and chamber there on this new 92A1, and that's for obviously increased wear resistance, increased corrosion resistance, and barrel life. So nice little touch there. From this point, what you're going to do is you're going to push on this little button right here, and that is going to allow this rod right here, for you guys who are new to the platform, to move over and allow the takedown lever to go down 90 degrees. So you just rotate that takedown lever while pushing up. At this point you have two options. You can either pull back on the slide or you can hit the slide release. Either one will work just fine. On video here we'll try to be gentle with it and let you guys see what I just did there. Is pull back on it and let it go forward. At this point you're going to pull up on your recoil spring guide rod and this little bar right here. Just want to push that up and you're going to align the tabs here, cutouts I should say, on the slide with the lugs there on the barrel, link, and pull your barrel out. That's your Field Strip 92A1. Of note here, we do have a polymer guide rod and a captive recoil spring. I have no problem with it, but I know out there in the forums, a lot of folks get really worked up about it. I think by now, Glock has proven that polymer guide rods and captive recoil springs can work just fine and are quite durable, but some folks just are adamant about having that steel guide rod. So if you want a steel guide rod, I think they're like 15 bucks at Brownell, so you can go pick one of those up. Also, of note here, we do have the recoil buffer in there. It's that blue thing you see right there. And it's my understanding that it was added to the A1 series of pistols for the 40 caliber 96 model 96s, and they just kind of left it in there for the 9mm to help prolong frame life. Certainly it will not hurt anything, that's for sure. Probably not necessary in the 9mm though, but ain't gonna hurt anything. To put it back together, just take your barrel, insert it back in, line those links up there with cutout, and kind of work it in there. If you see your link sticking up like it is right there, you just kind of need to play the barrel, push up a little bit on it until we get it to go back and actually fully seat down in there like you have right there. That's what it should look like. At this point, you're going to put your recoil spring back in there and guide rod, catch it on the lugs, and now we're just going to run it back on the frame. And that is the takedown reassembly of the pistol. One big gripe a lot of folks have about the 92 series of pistols is that they're just chunky. They're chunky all around. They have fat grips. They have fat profiles here, especially if you include the safety and decocker. Really fat, very wide. For folks with small hands, it can be an issue. I have very large hands, as many of you know, but if you have small hands, this gun very well may not fit your hand at all. And just to give you kind of a size comparison, here's our Glock 17 for size comparison. You can fit that on there. You'll see how much longer it is there. And the barrel, I believe the barrel on here is 4.9 inches on the 92, but it's just so much beefier. You can just see how wide it is compared to the Glock 17, which is also a double stack 17 round capable duty size gun. So definitely large indeed. If you have small hands, probably not the gun for you. One thing that's excellent about using any kind of gun that has a proven record that has been on the scene for a while now is the availability of aftermarket extended magazines. Like, for instance, the SIG 226, Glock 17, etc. all offer factory magazines, and the 92 is no exception. This one right here is our 30 round factory magazine, and works just as well as any other magazine that it comes with. So it's just kind of another bonus to getting a common platform like the 92 series of pistols. But anyway, I'll get back to shooting and stop talking. One thing that really needs to be pointed out whenever you're talking about any of the 92 or M9 series of pistols is that if you guys handle these in your military service, the civilian versions or the ones that you buy on your own likely will be extremely different. Obviously, I was in the military for a little bit, did a good bit of shooting with the M9 pistol, and I can tell you they were rattly. There was tons of malfunctions because nobody ever replaced the recoil springs, like ever. And they were just in terrible overall shape. Rough triggers that were like 20 pounds. Just terrible. Point is, on these guns, it's just not the case. When you get these in, they have nice finishes. They fit extremely well. The triggers are decent, certainly not good. I shouldn't say not bad. Double action on this one pulls right at about 12 pounds. It's pretty smooth, no stacking. And the single action is excellent. Just over 4 pounds. Clean break. Not a whole lot to complain about there, at least in my opinion. Obviously, I'd like the double action to be a little bit lower, and you can fix that with the D-spring if you so choose. But these guns are not like your rack grade M9. They're just not. They're much nicer. Very accurate as well. Some of the M9s I know with non-movable sights will shoot way left or way right. There's really nothing you can do about it besides use Kentucky windage. Well, on the 92A1 here, we do have drift adjustable sights, which is always nice. You can put whatever kind of sights you want in there, aftermarket, or just stick with the factory. Now, some inherent design flaws, I guess you could say, with the M9 series of pistols or 92 series of pistols. The open slide, it allows debris in there. No doubt about it, if you're operating in a dusty environment like a lot of folks found out in Iraq, some parts of Afghanistan, it definitely will get debris in there, so you got to make sure you clean it. That said, it's a very durable and reliable gun. A little bit of dirt in there, it probably won't hurt it. If you don't get in mud, it probably will. So, something to keep in mind there. The other big flaw that I guess you could say is clearing malfunctions with the slide-mounted decocker and safety. If you go to tap rack bang, especially if you have very large hands, you could very easily decock the gun and put it on safe. If you go to fire after that, it could cost you your life. So it's something to consider, something to take account and train for if you do on one of these pistols. But all in all, I'm not bad-mouthing the gun. I'm not trying to bad-mouth it. It's an excellent gun. It feels like quality when you get it in your hand. Beretta definitely makes excellent pistols, great fit and finish, accurate, reliable. The gun's had zero malfunctions since I've owned it. Yeah, nothing to complain about there. If you guys have any questions about this gun, anything else to talk about here in the channel, you can always feel free to post below in the comments section. You can also post over at my Facebook page. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.